Okay, good day, everybody. Today we'll be learning introductions, okay, introduction writing, which will be on the topic of environment. Okay, see, based on the discussion that I have with some of you yesterday and the days prior to yesterday, which is exactly why I would like to emphasize on the importance of your feedback. When you get back to me, it helps me to also align your lesson to your syllabus, which would be the domain, as someone questioned yesterday, on the basis of what you would be tested on in your examination much later. Okay, so this is one of the topics from your Form 5 lesson. Okay, so it is the environment. Okay, now we'll base on this. Okay, and we'll try to learn introduction writing. Okay, now there are a few questions that I would want you to bear in mind. Okay, we were supposed to discuss this, but it is okay. I will just go through the questions, and you try to think of whatever that you could relate in regards to the questions. Now, what is the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear the word environment? Okay. And then what do you think is the biggest problem with the environment? What is the impact of environmental issues to human? What can students contribute to alleviate the problem? For those who would watch the lesson online, this would be the set induction whereby you pose these questions, and this can extend to a discussion, which will be essential for a speaking classroom. Okay, but that's for speaking. All right, our focus today is on writing. Now, by the end of the lesson, students should be able to analyze different types of introductions to a topic, decide the suitable introduction accordingly. Now, for any essay, I want you to understand that for SPM, initially there was a fair share of narrative writing, but for this year and the years to come, this year onwards, the new syllabus, it is a lot more on factual or fact-based essays. Okay, therefore this particular lesson or this particular class today would focus on fact-based essays, introductory development. Okay, all right. Now, there is a fun fact, as we can always learn. Did you know elephants and storms? Did you know that elephants can sense storms? Elephants may be able to detect a thunderstorm from hundreds of miles away and will head towards it, looking for water. Okay, the hint here is the lesson today would be a lot more on animals. Okay, nature, animals, which would also synchronize with Form 4 lessons. So Form 4 has nature, Form 5 has environment. Okay, now some insights on factual essays. It is entirely based on facts. It requires a holistic understanding of the task. Okay, a complete understanding of the task. Analyze and deduce the details. So you need to be able to analyze from your understanding of the task. You should be able to analyze the task and deduce the details, break the details down. Okay, ideas have to be presented with maturity and should not be smeared with immature, irrelevant, excessively gaudy expressions. Now, I have repeated this time and again. You see, if it is going to be on the basis of fact, the standard of language would be based on how mature you are with your writing. If there are any irrelevant sections present in your particular essay, that shows that you have not understood the task, or you have not analyzed or deduced the details appropriately. Number one. Number two, if your essay were to be excessively gaudy in terms of accession, it is bedecked with a lot of bombastic, grandiloquent, expressive ideas, then it wouldn't fit into the decorum of a factual essay. Factual essay or fact-based essay does not need to be overtly decorated with expressions. It'll be very melodramatic. We don't want that. Okay, now factual as well as argumentative essays can generally be on the basis of these two elements. Element number one, this is RIW, reason, implication, ways to overcome. It is always that reasons, causes, trigger factors, that is, these are punca, and then implications, consequences, repercussions, kesan, ways to overcome, solutions, remedy or remedial action. So these are ways to overcome, langkah mengatasi. That is the first element. And the second element would be on advantages or disadvantages. Well, some questions would categorically fall into element one. Some question would categorically fall into elements number two. For example, smoking habits. There cannot be a question on the advantages of smoking habits because it is categorically wrong. So there could be disadvantages of smoking habits. There could be reasons for smoking habits. There could be implications to smoking habits, and there could be ways to overcome. Okay, so while some questions could have a fair share of both. For example, is tuition necessary? The importance of tuition. So you can talk about the advantages of tuitions as well as the disadvantages of tuitions. So there is a fair share of comparison, but it wouldn't categorically fall on the first element, whereby you don't have reasons or implications or ways to overcome tuition. Okay, so you need to be, when I refer to deducing the details, analyzing and deducing the details, this is what I mean. You need to be able to categorize. You need to be able to classify. You need to be able to segmentize the questions. Okay. If you have any questions, save it towards the end of the class. So I will give you a time to post your questions. Now, factual as well as argumentative essays can generally be on the basis of these three elements. Sorry, not two. So there are three types. Okay. The explanations are there, but let me explain to you in a way that you understand. The first type would be a statement whereby a statement is given. You do not need to make a stand out of it. For example, animals are important to human beings. How are animals important? So that would be the question. So there is no need for you to dispute over the fact or argue over the fact whether animal is important or not. Animals are important or not. Okay, animals are important. They've made an unequivocal stand there for you. So you've got to just abide by it and present your idea. Now, type 2 is a situation whereby you make a stand. Okay, you make a stand. For example, should handphones be allowed in school? Should students be allowed to bring handphones to school? So you can make a categorical, radical stand by the idea or against the idea. So this particular question would require you to make a stand, whether you are standing by the idea or you are standing against the idea, and you would substantiate your stand through your valid points. Okay. Now, the third type is where you discuss, whereby you compare and contrast. The statement would require you to compare both sides and give a general opinion, which would end in a reflective personal conclusion, which does not need to be unequivocal. It does not need to be categorical or radical. No. It can, for example, is tuition necessary? Question mark, discuss. So you can talk about the advantages of tuition and disadvantages of tuition, and then make a generalization. Okay. Well, our focus today is on the introduction. So basically, I have segmentized introduction into three parts. The first one is the hook. Now, for anything and everything, there should be a trigger factor to attract the reader, like how you would hook a bait, isn't it? Or bait a hook a bait to catch a fish or to draw a fish. by you. So likewise, we have that first, and there are 5 examples or 5 types of hook: statements, question, quotes or proverbs, stats or statistics, news or short story. And then you move on to the next task, which is to link to the task without revealing the task as of yet. And then you move further to introducing the task. This way, your introduction is well compartmentalized, and it is very attractive. It is segmented well, and it is very attractive. Now, we will move on to the types of hook. Okay, there are statements, questions, quotes and proverbs, statistics, and news. 5 types. Now, I have prepared an example for each, and I would want you to guess. Okay, so I suppose, Mr. Alex, are you in the class?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so Mr. Alex, every example, and then I will let the students to read to guess the type of hook. So first of all, remember these 5 hooks, or you may want to take it down. We have statements whereby you give a statement, and then we have questions whereby you pose a question, and then we have quotes or proverbs whereby we quote someone or we introduce a proverb, not a self-made proverb, and you don't quote your neighbor's grandmother either. Okay, so quote has to be someone who is renowned. Okay, and then you present a statistics. Here you cannot meddle with the data. If you do not know, do not lie. And the last one is news, whereby you share a short story of something that has happened. All right, okay, now we'll move on to the first one. So Alex would read, and after that you would be doing the guessing. So wait for him to complete reading. Now, this is the question. Okay, animals have always been man's best friend. What other ways have they been helping mankind? Write your essay. Well, this is an SPM question in the yesteryears. Okay, this has been tested. This question has been tested in the yesteryears. So this is typically a SPM style question. Animals have always been man's best friend. What other ways have they been helping mankind? Write your essays. Now, the animals that you see in the picture might not be very helpful, but doesn't matter. That's the irony. All right. Okay, we'll go to sample number 1. Okay, Alex.
Dolly's story has been very inspiring. Upon the owner's demise, this thoughtful dog had been visiting its owner's graveyard almost every day. On a fateful day, the family members noticed that it did not come back. Knowing that it would have been at the graveyard, they rushed to the graveyard only to find out that it had died there, by the graveyard of its dear master.
Okay, what is the type? Can someone guess? Obviously, out of those 5 hooks. Yes, anyone? Yes, anyone?
Sir, lion.
What? I'm asking what type of hook. Is it a statement? Is it a question? Is it a quote or proverbs? It is the statistics, or is it a news or short story? Yeah? Yeah?
Statements.
What is it?
It's a short story, right, sir?
Okay, it's a short story. Very
News.
good. News or short story. Very good. Yes. Now, sample 2. Alex.
Of the animal species covered under the Animal Welfare Act, 60% were involved in experiments where they experienced no pain and therefore no anesthesia was required. 33% were involved in procedures where they experienced some pain and or required anesthesia, and 7% of all animals experiences some pain but no anesthesia was provided because it would interfere with the experimental purpose.
Okay, so this is
So article.
Statistics.
statistics. Very good. So this is statistics. Okay, now Sample 3.
Animals' role in humans' life has been indubitably solid. The relationship has stood the test of time and the mutual dependence still continues on. Although animals have been subjugated by humans as we top the hierarchy, there have been fair instances that animals are also loved and much appreciated.
Okay, so this is
Statement.
excellent, excellent, very good, very good. All right, sample number 4.
If having a soul means being able to feel love and loyalty and gratitude, then animals are better off than a lot of humans, quoted James Harriet. This quote speaks volumes as to how genuine is the love an animal renders to.
So this
Quotes.
is
Hook, sir.
quotes. Very good. Yeah, quotes. Quotes of proverbs. Lastly, number 5.
Are you aware that it is practically impossible for the humankind to continue its existence without animals? Our very existence is quite dependent on them.
Question, sir.
Obviously, it's
Questions.
a question.
Question, sir.
Question. So now, yeah, thank you very much. You can mute yourselves. Now, do you see a fair share of 5 different approaches to one question? Now, this is the question. Animals have always been man's best friend. What are the ways have they been helping mankind? Write your essay. So instead of going directly to the question and saying, well, animals have been very useful to, animals have always been man's best friend. There are many ways in which animals have been helpful to mankind. If you were to give that, that's going to be very lame, that's going to be very mundane, that's going to be very monotonous, and that is going to be very boring. So that wouldn't excite the examiner, and it wouldn't give you much marks. Which is exactly why I've introduced to you 5 different approaches or 5 different types of hook. Okay. Now you can always go back if I upload this lesson. You can always go back and take your time to go through the vocabulary and delve into it and see how every sample is different from the other and how all of these could make perfect match to the link as well as to the introduction of the task. Now let's see the complete introduction. So we have 5 introductions just now that Mr. Alex read for us. We have statements, we have questions, we have quotes or proverbs, we had statistics, news or short story. Out of all this, I mean, I did all of these by myself, but the statistics, of course, I had to refer somewhere. And for quotes, I had to quote someone. I quote Harriet, isn't it? So the rest you could think. So in case if you are not sure about statistics, don't lie. Okay, because along the process, you can be carried away and your lies would be too good to be trusted. So then it would pose a doubt, and we wouldn't want that. And when you provide the statistics, you need to state the source also, as in the statistics conducted by so and so. Okay, and then you link to the task. If you see the linking to the task, it is for very valid reasons that we cannot do away with the animals and eradicate their existence from our lives. I have not spoken over the fact that animals are useful to human in various ways, yet in an explicit manner. Of course, my ulterior intention is to link to the task, but only in the introduction to the task have I introduced that animals are very useful to human in various ways, and that is the task. What are the uses of animals to humans? Okay, so this would set as the springboard for the development of the paragraphs, whereby you would state the importance of animals. So for you, you see, it is as important as a head to a body, an introduction to a paragraph, to an essay. So you need to make it as interesting, as catchy, as engaging, as attractive, as relevant, as feasible as possible. Which is exactly why we have these 5 hooks. Have you ever been introduced to these hooks before this, students? Can anyone say yes to that? Have you ever, besides my own students, anyone else? Have you been introduced to this?
No, sir.
Okay, now today you learned something, huh? Okay, all right. Now, some facts as well. Elephants can sense storms. Today is supposed to be a very interactive class, you know. That was how I planned it. That's why I got some facts and all. Pandas don't hibernate. Kangaroos, there are more kangaroos than humans in Australia. Dogs can smell your feelings. Can you imagine that? Dogs can smell your feelings. Huh? That is why they are man's best friend. Cats use their whiskers as feelers to determine if a space is too small to squeeze through. And koalas are even more lazy than cats. All right, now this is a task that I took from your textbook. If you bother to do, you can do it. Many people have decided to grow their own food these days. Is it a good thing or a bad thing for people? If you were to do this and focus on the introduction, and if you could send it sometime, if I have time, I will read it and I will tell you, I'll probably send you a voicemail as to how efficient have you written. Okay, now that's about it for today. Any questions? Of course, I'm sure you'll be brimming with questions. Give me a second.